Number one, channel still broadcasting. Apparently violating the Digital Transition and Public Safety Act, but check it out. It's here. And we are live, motherfuckers, on the Mad Shangi Show. We did a very special Mad Shangi Show. This is a follow-up to previous shows I did. First, it was the Mad Shangi Show. It was at Grooming Teens on Facebook, where at first we thought we were going to be exposing pedophiles. That's what we thought at first, but as the story unraveled, as more holes were being poked into it, we realized that we were being played for fools, and we dismissed this woman. But of course, this led to a shitstorm of accusations, and then people coming out of the woodwork, all with the same story. This is the fourth person that's contacted me about the person, Sharon. And what makes this person different is that this is Sharon's very own brother, Greg. Welcome to the show, Greg.
What's up?
So,
good to be here, man.
You wanted to tell your story about Sharon. Please, tell your story.
Well, first off, let me just state from the previous video of her youngest daughter's dad. I feel for this guy because I've known my sister my whole life, and she's very manipulative. She lies. She's a habitual liar, first off. She lies about everything. So I have to commend him for coming on the show, the previous show, and telling his story, because he's gone through a lot already. And what she's doing, keeping that kid from him, and the way she's doing it is just wrong. And I've talked to him several times, and he's a good guy, you know, and he's just trying to do what's right by the child. And you can't fault anybody at that, you know. So first off, I want to commend him for coming on and telling his story. And pretty much everything he said in his story about her is pretty much 100% accurate and true. So, like he said, I can't speak for anybody else that knows her or has spoken to her or known her a time or two or whatever. But being her brother, I can tell you a lot of things. Sharon, her whole life it's always been about her. It's what she didn't get. She's always the victim in everything. I couldn't tell you numerous of times of how many guys she's been with over the years. And that's not to say that I have. Yes. It's not to say that I haven't been with many women in my lifetime either. But the way she goes about doing it, and every time she splits up with one, is always their fault. And that's her life story. Anything that happens in her life, it's all about her. She's the victim. She's not at fault for anything. And this is what my family has dealt with for years. I can tell you from experience that pretty much everyone in my family she has lived with at a time or two. And she has used up all her resources living with all of my family members. I can tell you specifically, personally myself, she lived with me years ago. And would run up my phone bill, wouldn't pay me back.
Very entitled.
Yes. I have an older sibling, which I tried to get involved into this thing but he's a little bit more reserved, and he really didn't want me to come on this show because he didn't want any family laundering around. But I couldn't just hold back anymore because she has put our family through so much shit over the years. And specifically my older sibling, my brother has done so much for her just previously. Like her oldest daughter has a phone that he pays for. And he does it because he loves the girls. And I'm going to give you a prime example of how she is. My brother lives in Georgia, and I'm in Florida. And back in June, he previously came back here in June for a visit. And he went out of his way. My brother lives in Georgia, and I'm in Florida. And he went out of his way, went to Tennessee, picked her and the girls up, brought them to Florida on a vacation, paid for the whole damn thing, thousands of dollars, nice hotel, everything. Well, 2 weeks prior to this, before the trip, she had started making all these plans for herself, what she was wanting to do. Like, she wants to see all these old friends because she used to live down in Florida. She wants to see all these old friends of hers. She made the whole trip about herself when she got down here. Me and my daughter were there, and I only tell this because there's a history with her and how she is.
Greg, you were Greg, here's the question. Has she ever been diagnosed with a mental illness?
Medically, no.
Personally, is she on any sort of SRI?
Oh, no, what?
Is she on any sort of mood stabilizing medication?
Not that I'm aware of. What I mean by her being a habitual liar, I'll give you a prime example. When she was here, the whole trip, the first day I went was at the hotel. She had left. She's on some heart pills. Supposedly she's on some heart pills for her heart. And she left her heart pills at a hotel they stayed in the night before on their way down. Well, she was all frantic about her pills. She couldn't find them. My brother tried to go out of his way, was trying to help her. He calls the hotel to look through this bag. They found her bag. Didn't find any heart pills. Well, she came at me, which she knows me. I don't go with that shit with her. She already knows that. Well, long story short of that part is she, in front of both her kids, says, I have to have these heart pills. Gave me a bunch of shit and says, you don't know what's going on with me. I just recently went to the doctor and I was told I got 2 years to live. That's why I have on heart pills. Right in front of her kids. And her oldest daughter went off running crying, bawling her eyes out. She made a big scene about these heart pills. Well, after the fact of this, she pretty much went off the whole rest of the weekend like the pills didn't even matter. Like she wasn't too concerned about having her pills. My brother tried to help her, get a hold of a doctor, her doctor to find out what the prescription is. They could go to a pharmacy, he would fill it and pay for it, whatever. None of the words spoken about it the whole entire weekend. This is what I'm talking about when it comes to my sister. She is a habitual liar. She will make shit up to get people to feel sorry for her. There was some questions asked to the youngest daughter's dad on yesterday's show. I'm assuming it was yesterday's show.
Yeah.
About her and about having a job or how she makes her money. My sister has not had a job in probably at least 7 years. At least she's been living off the government food stamps. When she was with her ex-husband, the one that shipped off to Afghanistan, she was living off of his money. And after he left, I don't know. I think she's been pretty much on state assistance most of her life. So.
What does she do for money? Because she claimed to have a job.
Well, he's basically busting that. He basically said
I get that, but she still was acting like she was earning money, and I'm wondering how.
As far as that Facebook thing, that could be a possibility. She does go on there and try to sell things to make some money. But I can tell you a lot of money some money that she does get for help is from my brother. My brother has paid out hundreds of dollars to her and he's only done, and let me explain this. This isn't for her. My brother only does it because he cares about those girls. He cares about those two girls. He can give two shits about her, and I don't give two shits about her personally.
Okay, this brings me to what I'm most concerned about. It's the fact that she's going on her daughter's Facebook account and talking to guys asking for dick pics while posing as her daughter. I find that she's potentially exposing her child to predators, right? And who's to say this guy that she's talking about dick pics to, and who knows who else she's been trying to lure with that same Facebook account. These guys could be getting off thinking that a 14-year-old is asking them for dick pics because of what this woman is doing. Can you tell me about that, Greg? What do you know about this business? What she's been doing with her daughter's Facebook accounts?
That whole thing. When I saw the first video and the conversation y'all had with her, I was appalled. I was shocked because that had been the first I even heard of it. It's the first I had heard of it. I didn't know anything about it. And apparently this happened a while back. And I know my sister. If this actually happened, and we've seen it that it happened because you had the proof on the show.
Yeah.
But knowing her, she would have been calling at least my brother, me, somebody in the family, and telling them about it because that's what she does.
Right. And
as far as I know, I had never heard anything about it. My brother's never heard anything about it. I don't know about the rest of my family because I can't speak for them. I don't know if she's contacting them about it, but I just find it kind of shocking that she hadn't told anybody.
Yeah, she came to some stranger.
Is it fair to say that she is a combative person?
Meaning?
Just like where she'll start fights, whether they're physical or not.
I've never seen her get into a physical fight. But I can tell you one thing about her. When she gets started, and as you can see from the comments that you had on the last show, she does not stop. She will keep badgering until she gets what she wants. That's her. That's what she does. When she was here in
If
Florida,
this is what she wants, she can keep getting more of it.
Well, yeah. I have to go back. I have to go back to this trip she had down here back in June. My daughter. She basically targeted my daughter after she left. She made the whole trip about her and her friends, and her youngest daughter's birthday was, I believe, the Saturday night of that weekend. And they were going to be leaving on that Sunday or that Monday to go back. And she took it upon herself to invite all these so-called people that are her friends to the hotel that my brother paid for. And she acts like she didn't need his permission to bring these people to the hotel. She made it all about her youngest daughter's birthday. Okay, my brother that day actually said we're going to go out to dinner and have pizza as a family later in the evening. Earlier in that day, we took the girls to Celebration Station. My brother's treat. He paid for the whole thing. While she was there, my daughter had said something to her oldest daughter, and it got out of hand from there because all my daughter had said was that she didn't want to be around my sister right now. And then her oldest daughter went outside and told her what she said, and that stirred up a whole bunch of trouble. I talked to my daughter about that, and then I talked to her daughter about that. But it got progressively worse after that because she targeted my daughter after she left, making up all these lies about how she was eating all her food. Which, first off, she didn't pay for half the food that was in the hotel. My brother paid for the majority of it. She bought a few things with her food stamps, or she had got some check or something. I don't know what it was for. She had some check, it was for like $70. She got a few things for her daughter, which there was a box of Pringles. My daughter, not thinking about it, wasn't aware that it was her youngest daughter's box of Pringles. She ate, there was like half of it left, and me and my brother were eating some chips and salsa. There was just the three of us there, and she ate that Pringles box. And after that, she came back. She had a fit about it. She raised hell with my daughter because she ate all her daughter's chips. Okay, my daughter tried to apologize to her for that. She didn't want to hear it. So that was that part. But she made up other lies about, they went to a beach. My daughter went with her and a friend of hers that came from Fort Myers to see her. And they went to a local beach down here. And I had to work, so I wasn't there. They picked her up and they went to this beach. My brother was there as well. Or he met up with him later, actually. She accused her of losing her youngest daughter's goggles, which wasn't true, because my daughter told me she handed them back to her daughter, and her daughter lost them from there. She had no idea that after she handed her the goggles, she had no part of that after that. So she accused her of that. Then she accuses her of going through her friend's bag. That her friend was all upset. So I'm thinking, okay, if this is all true, why didn't she come to me as her father and tell me before she left? She never said a fucking word to me about it. Nothing. About all the stuff she's accusing her that she did. My daughter tells me she didn't do it. I believe my daughter. I don't believe my sister because she's an habitual liar. She makes shit up.
Now,
And
what's the
I
most
don't care
outrageous lie she's ever told?
What's what?
What's the most outrageous lie she's ever told? Like, what's the most destructive thing she's done that you can think of?
Man, there's so many over the years. It would be even hard to even come up with one, to be honest with you, because there's been so many. I'll put it this way: Sharon has lied so much in her life that she has begun at this point in her life to believe the lies she tells, that she actually thinks they're true. She's told so many.
Rabbit. I think it was Rabbit that said that.
And,
I mentioned that last night.
And I can tell you this. I'll tell you this. Sharon, if you're listening, I could give two shits what you think. I could give two shits what your opinion is. I know the truth. The family knows the truth, and you know the truth. So, what I care about is her girls. And
these are the girls right here, right? Because I found that
yes,
GoFundMe page.
yes, that is the girls.
So
and
she's collecting donations.
I do want to tell you about these two girls.
Okay.
Yesterday's show. I do have to say this. The oldest one has been through so much in her life. At an early age, she was diagnosed with leukemia. Okay, and she fought through that. She came through remission. Okay. She is a very good kid. She's smart. She's very good at art. The oldest one. She's a good kid. And I can tell you on numerous occasions, personally, being in front of my sister with her, listening to how she would talk to her sometimes, and cursing at her and shit. My brother's seen it. My dad has seen it personally. My stepmother has seen it personally. We've all seen it personally. She claims to be this good mother, but she treats the oldest one like shit. She knows it's the truth. And I know at some point she's going to get a hold of this. My phone, like the youngest daughter's dad's phone, it's going to blow up. But guess what? She blew up my phone after she left Florida. I must have got over 70 fucking texts on my phone after she left. But I never responded to her because it's not worth it. Because every time you get in a heated argument with her, you can't win because she'll just keep going until you agree with her or until you say she's right. So I never.
What account is she using? Is that the youngest daughter?
I'm sorry, what?
Whose Facebook account is she using? Is it the youngest daughter?
Whose Facebook is she using?
Yeah, because she's
That
using
would be the oldest one's.
Right. So the oldest one.
The oldest one. The one she's claiming. The one that she had all those texts from this dude that she initiated the conversation with.
Is she addicted to men?
Honestly, I couldn't tell you. I do know she's had plenty of good guys in her life. She had a guy years ago when I was living in Georgia that lived local there, and she was staying in Georgia at the time. I think she was staying in Georgia. She might have been in Tennessee, and he was going up to Tennessee to visit her or whatever, and she would come down to Georgia or whatever. But she had one guy at one point, was a very good guy. I met the guy, I hung out with him. He had a son of his own. The son got, attached to the oldest daughter. This was before the youngest one came around, before the youngest one got here. So and he was a good guy. But after a short period of time, after I got to know him, they ended up breaking up. And of course, it was his fault. She didn't do anything in the relationship. It was all him. Just like every relationship she gets in, it's always their fault. She never takes any blame for anything.
So this daughter that she's using and portraying as a victim, this is also the same kid you're talking about that's being verbally abused by her. And
yes, absolutely. I've heard her talk to her several occasions. The way she talks to her is just outrageous. Like, and the youngest one, when she was very little, used to get away with a lot of shit. And the oldest one she would pick on the older one over something the little one would do.
Is she abusive with the children?
No, she's never been physical with the kids.
Okay.
At least not what I'm aware of, and I've never seen it.
Okay.
That part I could verify. But verbally, yeah, verbally abusive. Oh yeah, most definitely.
Has your sister ever falsely accused any of her boyfriends or any men of crimes like similar to the one that she was trying to pull on the show, killed her?
I can tell you this, and it's probably something that I shouldn't bring up, B, but I think the hat's already out of the bag. My father and the oldest one, we're pretty close. And she stayed with my father a while back, and they were laying on the couch. And my dad's always been good about, like, even when I was growing up, me and my dad used to wrestle all the time. So him and the oldest one would always wrestle a little bit, not like a father and son would, because, you know, it's a little more physical that way. Right, he was a little more gentle with her than you would be with a boy, because he's a girl. There was a particular night that she stayed with him, and my dad kind of rubbed her stomach a little bit, and his hand went a little bit too far. He didn't touch her really inappropriately. He just got a little too close, which in return he apologized for. He said, I shouldn't have done that. Well, my sister has taken that whole thing and has blown it all out of proportion and saying that he sexually molested her or inappropriately touched her.
So
and now my father is miserable because she has put this out. Okay, and he now is not allowed to speak to the kids. She won't allow him to speak to the oldest one, and it's hurtful because my dad is a good guy. I know my dad. My dad would not intentionally do something like that to her. No, I'll tell you why. Because my dad, Sharon claims she's a Christian.
Okay, I got a question.
My dad is a full, blown out Southern Baptist Christian. He lives by the book.
Okay, Greg, I have a question.
Yes.
She made these accusations. Did she ever take these accusations to the police? Did she ever go that far?
No. She says that she took her to counseling or to a therapist, and supposedly this therapist was just talking to her, and that they were going to get to the bottom of it to find out whether or not that it was more than what it was. If you get my drift.
Yeah,
and that's about as far as it's gone. She hasn't. Nothing has been said about any files being charged or anything like that.
Okay, because that's
every time I ask her about it, she would dodge it and say, "Well, no, the therapist says right now is not the time to do anything." So I'm saying this because it goes back to what I said in the beginning. Sharon is an habitual liar. She makes shit up to get attention from people, and I think a lot of it goes back to her childhood, and she didn't have a very good relationship with our father. Okay, and I think that might be another reason why she hooks up with these different guys, because she's looking for a father figure. Because my dad was not really there for her, really, when she was growing up. You know, so I think that's part of it. There's a lot of things in her life that has not gone the way she wants it to go, but a lot of it doesn't go the way it's supposed to go because she allows it not to go that way. She does not take responsibility for her own life. She doesn't want to work. She always has an excuse. Well, I can't afford a babysitter. It's like, seriously, how many single parents in this country have 2 and 3 kids and have jobs, and their kids either go to school or they go to a daycare, and the parents and the single parent pays for it? You do what you have to do to supply for your family. She doesn't do that. She's always, and any job she's ever had, she's never kept very long. Same thing when she loses a job. She either got fired or she quit. It was always her fault. She never did anything wrong to lose a job either. This is her history. This is her history.
Since we brought this up, I want to talk a little bit about this GoFundMe page. She doesn't work, and she's unreliable, and she's known for basically living off of other men. Does she panhandle? Is she always begging for money?
When she needs something, I can't I can't say that she doesn't call other people, but I do know for a fact it's usually my brother she calls, and my brother always bails her out. The only reason, like I said, and the only reason he does it is because he loves those girls and he wants them girls taken care of. He's always buying food. He sends her money for groceries. You know, my brother's done so much for her, and then she comes on this trip down here and does what she does, and basically slaps him in the face. You know, when she leaves, she throws my kid under the bus. You know, targeting my kid. Now, I had to have my kid's number changed. She had to block her and all this and that, and like, she's fucking nut bat crazy. That's the bottom line. She's nut bat crazy, and those kids are right smack dab in the fucking middle of it, suffering the most.
I know they're being used in this GoFundMe page, which I want to draw attention to. I'm gonna read this out for the audience here. It says, first off, I want to thank you for taking the time to read my story. I have several things going on right now. I'm a divorced single mother of 2 girls, ages 11 and 7. My oldest a cancer survivor. I do have the intentions of moving back home to Florida, where I have help with family and friends, but at the moment it's not working out. So for the time being, we are here. Kids are going to school here. There are 2 things going on at once. I was working and got hurt, and she's got a picture of her foot in a cast there. I was working, and look at what she's asking for. $1,500. She only in 37 months, she's only made $90 of the $1,500 that she was donated from. Or anonymous, Sean Wisdom.
I hope she pays taxes on that.
And yeah, she says.
Well, I'm aware of that GoFundMe page when she put it out.
What's the story?
But me personally, I know fucking better, and she doesn't ask me for money because she knows I won't give it to her.
Mm-hmm.
But she'll always go to my brother because my brother is. I'm a big-hearted person, okay, and I help people when they need it. I do it all the time. That's just my personality. But I'm also the type that I won't be fucking used. You see what I'm saying? I'm not going to be fucking used. And she uses people like she uses my brother. My brother's starting to see it. Like she's always calling him, I need this and I need that. And my brother just hands out money here and there to her all the time because he cares about those girls. If it wasn't for that, he probably wouldn't give her shit. But he does it for the girls. Because he doesn't want the girls to go without food. He doesn't want, like I said, he's paying for the oldest one's phone so she can have a phone. Oh, and don't even get me started with that. That whole thing that she's talking about, how she watches her daughter on Facebook and who she talks to, bullshit. Total bullshit. Okay, let me tell you why. Let me tell you why it's bullshit. When she was here in Florida, her daughter had her phone on her. Okay, when we went to Celebration Station, two guys that she knew from down here. One she's claiming is the kid's godfather, which is probably a lie. Comes to Celebration Station to meet her there. She tells us she's leaving to go get the birthday cake for her youngest daughter. Okay? She left, never came back. They ended up going to the hotel. Okay? We stayed with the girls. My brother paid for all of that. And let me tell you something. These girls live on a string around their mother. When she left Celebration Station for 3 hours later, for 3 straight hours we were there. My brother watched the youngest one, but he let her run free. Just run free. She got a ride after ride, and she had a fucking ball, man. She would not have been able to do that if my sister had been there. And I can tell you this, the whole time we were there, she must have called her oldest daughter's phone about 50 fucking times while we were there. Oh, how's the little one? Where's she at? What's she doing? Are you watching her? Blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, if you cared so much, you would be here, wouldn't you? Why you ran off with 2 other guys? Okay? I go back to that phone thing because when she was gone for that long period of time, the oldest one had her phone with her at Celebration Station and was on it the whole time. How does she know she wasn't on Facebook talking to somebody? If she claims that she sees everything she does, right?
Right. Well, the smoking gun was she claimed her daughter's Facebook account was private, and that was complete bullshit. And if it was private, how come all these guys are fine?
It's never been private.
Yeah,
it's a blatant lie. And a matter of fact, her oldest daughter doesn't have 1 account; she has 2 accounts.
Right. Well, just like she has 2 accounts.
Yeah.
That I know of. I already found 2, and I found one hilarious post where she says her relationship status is in a relationship, and then somebody commented, "Oh, bullshit! Then how come you're on Meet Me showing your body off?"
Well, that part I can't say whether it's true or not because I don't know. I honestly don't know what she does. It wouldn't surprise me if that's what you're asking. It wouldn't surprise me. And how she makes her money, I honestly don't know. Some of it comes from assistance. I know she gets a small check every month from something. I don't know what it's from, but she gets a small check from something.
She seems to be scamming people. Like I said, she's got a GoFundMe page here with a sob story. She broke her foot. She's taking off her family. She's selling stuff online, and who knows what else she's doing. But like I said, she said her daughter's Facebook account was private. It wasn't. I found this account quite by accident because she was posting all this shit about me on my podcast, like saying that I just bashed her, that I just got her on here and made a fool out of her. And then I see who's liking these posts. And I'm like, okay, go to the Facebook page. It's the daughter, the same daughter that she's been using. That's going on.
Right.
She's going on her daughter's Facebook page and trying to solicit dick pics off of men. I find
Oh,
that very.
all right, well, listen, let's check this. When she was down here and she left and we had that big tussle down here, okay, my daughter tried to do the right thing. And she messaged on Messenger to the oldest daughter. She tried to do the right thing, and she messaged the oldest daughter, apologized to her for getting her in the middle of the adult situation that was going on by what she said about her mother. Okay, in return, she gets a message back that is supposedly, quotation marks now, she gets a message back from the oldest daughter and is talking to her about she doesn't give a shit, go fuck yourself. And I'm thinking to myself, that is all Sharon. That is not her daughter talking in that message. So I'm telling you, some of the stuff that comes off of her daughter's stuff is coming from her. It's not coming from her daughter. I guarantee you that. Guarantee you that. This is what my family has dealt with for years. She has taken money from our family, and everybody has tried to help her. We've all tried to help her get on her feet, but she don't give a shit. She wants to stay doing the course she's at now, and she's capable of getting a job. She's capable of being an adult and doing the adult thing, get a job, take care of her kids in the right way.
How old
But
is
she
she?
hasn't had a job in years.
How old is she?
She's
40.
she's probably about 7 or 8 years younger than me, and I'm 46, so she would be about 39, 40.
Yeah. I put her about
So,
she's too old for this shit.
like I said, I'm sure that I'm gonna hear from her at some point. My phone's gonna blow up, just like the little girl's dad. Probably my phone's gonna blow up too. But honestly, like I told him, who gives a shit? Let her blow up your phone, because all she's trying to do is get something out of you. And I ain't sinking to that level. I'm a better man than that. I'm a better person than that. I'm not stooping to the childish shit. So I just pretty much wash my hands and banished her out of my life. And it's sad because I care about those two girls. And just like the youngest daughter's father said yesterday, he may never see the girl again. Well, guess what? If he's listening, I'm just telling you, bro, changes will come, man. She can and she will be in your life. At some point, she's going to be in your life. You got my fucking guarantee on that.
Well, it sounds to me like CPS should be getting involved because she doesn't sound like a fit mother to me. I'm very disturbed about the whole fact that she's going on her daughter's social media and she's talking dirty to random men. Who knows how many men? We only know of the one, and she claims that 2 other men contacted her daughter. What the fuck is up with this woman? Like, to me, it sounds like borderline.
Sharon is a vicious person. When she left here and she went targeting my daughter the way she did, she even went after her mother, sending her messages. She sent a cousin of mine in Texas messages about me, posting this video about a whining child and their father and blah, blah, blah. It's like, it just went on and on and on. This is what she does. She strives to get attention or to get something out of somebody or what she wants. And that whole thing was for her wanting to get an apology from my daughter to her for that she says ruining her daughter's birthday. Well, first of all, nobody ruined her daughter's birthday but herself. Because that family dinner we were supposed to have was not specifically a birthday dinner. She turned it into a birthday dinner, inviting all her friends and such to come to this dinner. So, it's just something.
Narcissism.
Well, she's got a lot of problems, man. A lot of problems. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect either. I've got issues sometimes. Everybody goes through issues. Everybody has problems now and then. But she seems to her whole life have nothing but problems. And a lot of it she brings on herself. Because she doesn't do anything to fix it. She just wants to sit back and play the oh me card all the time.
Well, it's all blowing up in her face because she really came to the wrong people to spread her bullshit narrative. Because number one, she's like threatening me, saying, "Oh, you did not have my permission to invite those other guys on this show." And it's like, I don't need your fucking permission to have these guys on my show.
She knew we were in the chat before she even said a word. We were introduced to her.
Yeah, I told her there's going to be other people in the chat, and then she's like, they set me up. She's mad because basically I had 2 other people in here with me that helped me cross-examine her story and look for holes, and we find them. We found all the holes in her story. It was a bullshit story, and it raised even more questions like, what the fuck is this woman doing going on her daughter's social media like that? And and asking for dick pics and asking weird questions like, have you ever been in a secret relationship with a girl my age? And we don't know the story with this guy. We don't know who he is, right? She initiated the conversation, and there's no way of us knowing who sent the friend request, because typically the person who sends the friend request is usually the person who initiates the conversation.
Yeah, and the fact that she used her daughter's real profile to try and do whatever legitimately or whatever she was trying to do, she used her daughter's profile. She put her daughter at risk. She should have made up a different profile.
Well, the sad thing is, she has put her at risk for sure now, because as many predators that are online now, she's out there now. And if she's claiming that this guy hit her daughter up on Facebook, okay, and it was inappropriate, it's only getting started now. It's only getting started now. She just opened the freaking door by posting her face on the site. Like, this is man. Like I told you earlier in the message, like I said, I could care less where she hears this, or I don't even care what her opinion is. I don't even fucking give two shits about her anymore. I really don't. I don't want her in my life at all. Listen, I've always said, okay, as a man, I don't ever hate anyone, because hate is such a strong word. But you can bet your bottom dollar that I don't like her, and I've never liked her. If she was not related to me, I wouldn't even hang out with her. She wouldn't even be in my life at all. I would have nothing, a fucking thing to do with her. She's shit bad crazy. She's psycho. I wouldn't associate with her.
I'm going to screen share these screen caps. This is the first time she contacted me right here. She says, "Hiya, I just watched your most recent interview with Nathan. Howdy." She says, "Very good. I'm friends with Bobby," and that's Bobby Wolf Jr. So I want to take this opportunity to clarify, because of this woman's lies. She's misrepresented. She's made it seem like that this Bobby Wolf Jr. and Nathan Forrest Winters, who I had on my show, these two people were helping her with this case involving a cover-up involving pedophilia on Facebook, and the police were covering it up. I'm like, okay, let's see your evidence. And I started to get here's the other screenshot here. She says, "I'm a survivor of some things, came back because something happened to my daughter. Nathan and Bobby know. Bobby has been busy, which it's to be expected between his job and other projects. We are trying to get a story together. Things need to come forth. I'm nobody famous, etc., but I have a story, especially just recent. If I can, whomever to help Bobby or something, I don't know, something needs to change." So, and this was 20 minutes before I did an interview with Connor Frazier, the director of the Babysitter documentary. "Hey, can you call me?" "No, I'm about to go live in 30 minutes. "Okay, I've been thinking about both things. I think I'm being held back even by Nathan in a way. This is not a good time. Maybe we can do a story a different day. I'll talk to you later. I'm busy." She had nothing to do with these people. She was lying. I shown one of their associates these screenshots, and she was like, "What the fuck? What the fuck?" She has nothing to do with Nathan Forrest Winters or his team, and she's been using these people basically to try and rope them into her crazy bullshit fucking drama.
That's all her life has ever been, is drama. Every little thing in her life is drama. Let me tell you this. There could be a fucking cockroach on her front door, and the whole fucking world's ending. That's how dramatic she is. If that tells you anything. It's like sad and ridiculous how dramatizing she is on everything. Like, every little thing.
Yeah, it seems like she has a flair for the histrionic. Everything is always blown out of proportion. And like I said, I suspect she has borderline personality disorder just based on her behavior.
You might be 100% right on that. I don't know. I don't think she's ever been like medically examined for it, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Like, there's certain red flags. Like, it's always in two extremes. When she likes you, she really likes you. You're the greatest guy on earth, right? She adores you. But then when she doesn't like you, you're the worst person on earth. You're a creep.
I'll give you another perfect example of that. When she left here to Florida and when she targeted my daughter and said that my daughter was this and this and this, like, I'm talking bad things and bad things about me. Okay, in that same argument, she called my brother the good brother, right? My brother was the good brother. Well, my brother finally caught on to some lies of hers when he was talking to her, and he called her out on it. Well, guess what? Now all of a sudden he's not the good brother. He's what, in her words, called him a Nazi. This is her life. This is her life. This is what she does. She has no remorse whatsoever of the people that she hurts and the people that she talks to and talks down to. I understand. I can never understand how anybody can live a life like that. Ever.
Greg, do you happen to know if she's a feminist?
What?
Do you happen to know if your sister is a feminist?
If she's a what? I'm sorry.
A feminist?
You know what? Nothing would be impossible with her. Nothing.
Because on her daughter's profile, like, She said, "I am 14, stay away, pedophiles," and then something in there about supporting the LGBTQ and all these different dramas that she involves people in. It gives me the impression that she's a bit of a social justice warrior, but taken to like another fucked up level.
Oh yeah, she's all well. You know, she always used to tell me that she doesn't go on Facebook and she doesn't talk about people's personal things with people about them or her and the situation they're in. And then when somebody does it to her, she'll say that, you know. And I'll be like, she did that to me once, and I'm like, who is calling the kettle black, Sharon? You do it all the fucking time. You get on there when somebody pisses you off. What do? You get on social media and you start dogging people. You start getting every Tom, Dick, and Harry involved that don't need to even be involved in it. Trying to take your side. That's what she does. That's what she did when she left there for Florida. She started getting my family involved. She's getting trying to get friends her other friends involved. Like they're thinking that me and my daughter are bad people because we ruined her daughter's birthday. Like they don't even know the half of it. They don't even know the half of it. And it's like somebody had said, I don't remember who it was. Somebody had said it through this process that of the last 3 videos. Someone had said that she kind of lost my train of thought there. Like she's burning her bridges. You know what I mean? Like she's running out of people she could turn to, and that's sad because her girls. I'm gonna say this: her girls are generally good kids. Okay, and the position that they've been put in their life is saddening for me. It breaks my heart because they're good kids and they're being put in middle situations that they shouldn't have to be put in.
Yeah, this isn't their fault. Like it's all their mother that's doing this. Like I said, I think CPS should be looking into this situation with these girls because not right, man. Like I'm still getting the EBGBs at the fact that their mother is basically catfishing people with her own daughter's Facebook account. That's fucking nuts.
Yeah,
nuts.
You do hear of parents that have children that are 13 or 14 that do have Facebook pages, but they do monitor their Facebook pages. But
yeah.
Sharon goes to the extreme. She uses that as a tool. Okay, when I had my daughter's number changed because she kept blowing my daughter's phone. When I had my daughter's number changed and had her block her on Facebook and Instagram, what does she do? She goes through her daughter's account to try to get to her. She will go to any distance to get to you. That's her mentality, and it's sick and it's sad. I feel for her girls because I don't, I want to see them girls grow up, be happy. They're generally happy kids, but the situation they're in, they'll never be able to be happy because of her. Because it goes back to what I was saying earlier about the celebration station thing. When we had the girls at celebration station, they had the most fun I've ever seen them have in their life.
Great.
And that's because she wasn't there.
Sorry to cut you off. Question.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I was asking, is Sharon close to her mother at all?
Yeah, our mother, gosh, so she passed away at a young age. And she passed away in 2001 of an aneurysm, and she was only in her early 50s. So, but she had a decent relationship with her mom. There were times that her and my mom didn't see eye to eye either. But my mom is totally different from my dad. My mom has a huge heart. She always had a huge heart. So she always tried to see good in people, and she always tried, like me, she always tries to help people. There was an instance years ago, she stayed with me, and I kicked her out of my house because she ran my phone bill up, not once, not twice, 3 times. And that back then was when I was an alcoholic. I was an alcoholic for 20 years. So that's why I said, no, by no means am I a perfect man. I've had my own faults in my life. I was an alcoholic for over 20 years. By grace God, thank God I've been sober now for over 6 years. I haven't had a drink. So I improved my life that way. But it just goes back then, I was a heavy drinker, and I didn't give a shit. I got shit from my mom for kicking her out because she had no place to go. So my mom had to take her in. But I didn't give a shit. I said, Mom, she ran my phone bill 3 times. I don't give a shit. She has no respect for me or my house. She can get the hell out. I don't give a fuck. Get the hell out. Leave. That's what I'm saying. She does things like that, and she doesn't think about the consequences of her actions. And she doesn't want to take responsibility for her actions. She always wants to point the finger at somebody else. She never wants to point the finger back at herself.
That's how
it's been that way her whole life.
I just wonder if she had some type of arrested development because something must have happened, or something's happening that she's not diagnosed with to have her have such a extreme reaction to everything, really.
Well, I think a lot of it, like I said earlier, I think a lot of it just stems back to her childhood and her relationship with our dad. They didn't have a very good relationship. My dad worked all the time to provide for the family because my mom didn't work for years. She did eventually start working as we got to be adults, but my dad was mainly the breadwinner of the house. So, and I, being older than her, moved away. So I missed a lot of her teen years. So I think through her teen years, her and my dad really didn't have a very good relationship. They didn't talk much. And I think that some of that could stem back to that, where she didn't get the attention from our father that she wanted.
Well, whatever happened in her life, it certainly does not excuse the behavior.
No, it does not. No, it does not. You're absolutely right. It does not excuse it. Because you have a choice. You have a choice in your life. What are you going to do with it? You can't live your whole life in sorrow and sadness and, oh, I'm a victim of this, I'm a victim of that. Get over it. Move on with your life. Be a happy, productive adult. An active citizen. Get a fucking job, man.
Red Pool, I see you're back in the hangout. Do you have any questions for our friend Greg here?
He's got to get unmuted.
Red Pool.
I'm sure I'm roboting. The net's like fuck.
No, you sound all right now. Do you have any questions for our friend Greg?
Hello?
We can hear you fine.
Oh, well, I have been having some terrible net issues the whole time.
Do you have any questions for our friend Greg here?
I ended up missing most of this because of it. I'll probably have one. Why is the show wrapping up? Am I that late?
No, it's just where Rabbit and I have been handling things on the questions front. I thought you might have had something to chime in there. Okay. Anyway,
I will. Just give me a sec. I'm still trying to figure out where I can get a better signal. Well, I'm just glad to be reconnected.
He's trying to get a good signal.
we just love having you here, Red Pool.
And you too, Greg. It takes a lot of courage to come out, and talk about, family, especially family issues, family stuff.
Yeah, well, like I said at the beginning, I had been conversating with my brother about it, and my brother wasn't too thrilled with it. He really didn't want me to be airing dirty family laundry, but I've just gotten to the point in my life with her that enough is enough. She's never had any consequences for her actions and how she treats people. She just simply gets away with it. She goes off on somebody, calls you every name in the book, she hurts people's feelings, and she has no remorse for it. And then, like the youngest girl's dad said yesterday, 3 months later, she's calling back up. That's what she does. It's all forgotten and over with, and now she's moved on to something different. She has no remorse for her actions.
Just a pattern of the behavior that we all predicted just from our brief conversation with Sharon. Just a lot of red flags were being raised while talking to her. I mean, she's 40 years old and she seemed like a little kid when we were talking to her. I mean, I find it funny that she's calling the guy's genitals the below area when she was not so shy while using her daughter's Facebook, calling it a dick. Can I see your dick?
Yes. Yeah. I totally agree with you. It makes me wonder myself if this guy actually sent her the friend request, her daughter the friend request.
I think she sent it first.
It's almost. I kind of almost believe the theory that I don't know who said it. Somebody said it. That she probably knew this guy, and she was probably trying to get with the guy or get something out of this guy. He wouldn't give it to her, so she lured him in to get back at him, to get him in trouble.
And it nearly worked because
it almost worked. It almost worked, but like a moron, she goes on your show.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny, but it's not, because now she's opened up a door that she has no fucking clue she just opened. She just set herself up. She just set herself up. And sadly, she has set her daughter up, which saddens me. Because now they're going to be coming out of the woodwork. I can guarantee you that. Guys are going to be coming out of the woodwork now.
And I just wanted to point out that the guy did say some sick and perverted things too. Well, yes,
I've seen it.
Well, it looks like it was a 14-year-old girl. We don't know if he knew this was her or not. We don't know what the hell's going on there. The guy is maybe a pervert for all we know. The issue is
it's a possibility. It's a possibility. I mean, that whole thing is a little, for me, that's a little wishy-washy, because she kind of initiates the conversation and brings all this stuff up, but he's not too shy about it either. So it's kind of, it gets a little complicated there,
Yeah.
Whether she actually knew this guy or not, or why would he even be, if he knows that this girl is 14, why would he even be responding to this? But then again, it shows him in the end saying, well, you're too young for me to be talking to you, and you don't hear nothing else. He leaves.
Yeah.
Right?
He did excuse himself, but he made some inappropriate comments before excusing himself. So he's quite off the hook in my eyes. I'd like to know what the deal is with him, but we've exposed so much about this woman.
I got home. I came home today, and I work at night, so I've been up since midnight last night working, so get ready to go to bed soon. But I got home this morning. I get a text from my brother, and I'm thinking, he's like, you got to look at these videos. She's got back to her drama again. And I'm like, what are you talking? I'm thinking, what are you talking about? And then when I click on the first one, I'm thinking, oh my fucking God, what the hell is wrong with this girl? What are you gonna? First off, the story itself is sickening. Second off, why are you gonna go on a live show to talk about it? First off, that's my point. Why are you gonna go on a live fucking show and talk about your daughter and some 33-year-old man? You would think you would keep that private and not blare that to everybody. Like, come on, it's like, use some fucking common sense, man.
And she obviously didn't do her homework on me and what my show is.
Apparently not. But this goes back to, but Mad Dog, goes back to what I said to you earlier today. This is her. She doesn't think things through before she acts.
Nope.
She doesn't know. She has no clue what her consequence is going to be. Because she has this I don't give a fuck attitude. When she gets in that mode and she gets pissed off, she'll say what she wants to say and she don't care who she says it to. I'm like, and I'm still in shock. I'm still in shock that this is happening because I just went through this ordeal with her 3 months ago when she was here. And I was just now, things were leveling out. I was going on with my life, spending time with my kid. And my kid's spending time doing shit. And then I get this text today and I see this video and I'm thinking, oh my fucking God.
What the fuck is wrong with the woman?
Like, seriously. Like,
Don't she have to encourage people that like help her or talk to her about this kind of stuff?
I'm sorry,
She's had her family helping her and talking to her until she burns all her bridges.
yeah, well, her bridges are real thin now.
By the sounds of it, she's had plenty through the course of her life. Yeah.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. She's had multiple opportunities in her life to receive help from this family. We've all tried to help her. We've all tried to give her opinions, but she didn't want to hear it because it's her life. Oh, don't judge me in my life. Well, nobody would judge you, Sharon, if you quit making the same fucking mistakes all the time in your life.
Like,
That's what it boils down to. She just makes the same mistake over and over again in her life. She's never grown up. Like,
you'd think we were talking about a teenage girl, but this is a 40-year-old woman, and this is how she acts.
Yes. Saddening, isn't it?
Right?
Saddening.
Folks, this is her brother on my live stream here, and this is what this poor man has to put up with. And you've heard what the other poor young man had to say about her. Like, it's so funny that as soon as I did that first live stream with that girl, with that woman, sorry, I get people coming out of the woodwork.
Oh, no, you can say girl, because that's what she is. She's a little girl.
She's a little girl. She's a little
That's
bitch.
what she is.
So,
I would never go that far, but I'm just saying.
Well, that's your sister, man. I understand that.
No. Let's get one thing straight. She is not my sister.
Yeah.
I've disowned her. Seriously, I have disowned her. I don't want no acquaintance with her.
Is she the
The
only
girls,
girl?
the girls, yes.
Is she with
Her girls, yes. I will never. Her girls can always come to me if they need me. I'll always be around for them. But her, I don't.
Those two
I would
girls,
have to
the ones that she's put into the public view, those are the ones I'm worried about. And it's not just me. A lot of people are now worried because of these videos. They're worried about this girl and her potentially getting bullied at school over this, over these live streams.
Yeah.
And of course, worried about the sexual predators that their moms be trying to lure with their social media.
Well, it saddens me because there's a point in my life that I've loved my sister. You know what I mean? And I've done for her and cared for her and her girls, but I've just woke up and said, when is enough? And when I drew the line was when she targeted my kid. When she targeted my own kid, which would never, in my fucking entire life, would I ever do to her kids what she did to mine. Here's the thing, no matter all this stuff that she accused my daughter of was actually true, okay? Let's just say it was actually been true. I would never done that to her kids, ever. But this is her. She don't give a shit.
She
She's
sounds
all
like
about her. She's all about her and about her kids and nobody else.
she sounds like a
Well,
bully.
she's not really about her kids because if she was, she would be doing. She'd be taking care of them the way they're supposed to be taken care of.
Sounds like a bully.
What
and a child
were you saying there?
Sounds like a bully and a child abuser.
You said it right there. She's a bully. She's a fucking bully. She bullies everybody.
Well, you got that right, Rabbit. The verbal abuse is mental abuse, and she's a child abuser, and she's abusing her child just by going on her social media and talking dirty to strangers.
Child endangerment.
Yeah, exactly. Like I
Yeah,
said,
and she wants to say how she's this gun mother to her kids. She's done it all on her own. Hello, Sharon. No, you have not. You live off of state government. You've lived off an ex-husband's money from the service. You've lived off food stamps. You've lived off assistance majority of the time you've had your kids. You've never had a job. And the jobs you did have, you only had it for a very short period of time. So how can you say that you provide for your fucking kids? How can you say that? Now, granted, I'm not a perfect father myself. Because, like I said, I was an alcoholic for over 20 years. And I wasn't always the best father to my child. Okay? And I've had to pay for those mistakes. And I lost a lot of time with my kid because of my alcohol. There's plenty of times I could have went and seen my kid. Because my kid spent time with her and I had the money to do it. But I avoided it because of my drinking and my partying stage and all that. Now, that's all from my drinking and my passive drinking. But me and my daughter now have a really good relationship. And my daughter is like me. She has a heart of gold. And for my sister to target her the way she did is fucked up. And the whole time, I have not said anything to her. All the bad things that she texted me and her, my daughter hasn't said anything to her. We have not responded to any of the texts or anything that all the bad things she said, we have not responded. Okay, but when I saw this video yesterday, or today, from yesterday, I was like, she's gone too far. She's gone way too far. That's when I decided, what the fuck do I care? She's not in my life no more. I don't fucking care about her. I really don't. And that's sad to say. Because she's my sister. But I don't fucking care. I don't want nothing to do with her. She's mean, manipulative, she lies about everything. I don't want any part of her at all. And she said pretty much the same thing. She didn't tell me directly, but I had a couple of people tell me that she washed her hands of me. Well, that's fine with me. That's perfectly fine with me, because I ain't got to deal with your shit. So
he actually reacted to the fact that the guy we had on yesterday, who's apparently, do you think he is the actual biological father of the youngest? Because he says he doesn't have any paternity.
I've had the conversation with him about that, and him yesterday. It would not surprise me if he wasn't, and the reason behind that is because, like he said yesterday, that she had at the time that he was with her, he said that she was with multiple partners, and that's why he thinks she won't do the paternity test, because she's afraid she's going to get the same outcome that she did with her ex-husband, and she's trying to throw it on. She wants to throw it on somebody, and she doesn't, and she wants to throw it on somebody to where she doesn't have it spread out that she's been with other guys around the same time. See what I'm saying? That's a possibility. It could be a possibility that it ain't. But from talking to him, he believes in his heart that she's her, that she is his, based on what he was saying even yesterday in the show about that she looks like his mother, and some of the things, her traits that she has. That's why he believes that it's his daughter. And to be honest with you, and to be totally honest, he's from talking to him, he is a good guy. You heard it yesterday when you talked to him and when he talked to you guys. He is this is a good guy. He wants to do what's right by this child, and he wants to do what's right by the older child too, because he cares for her as well. I would love to see him be her father. To be honest with you, because
I want to read the screenshot here. This is something she posted in reaction to her ex being on the show talking to me. She says, I made calls today, and now my ex will be paying a price for what he did, especially making allegations against me that are serious. He went on the show today because Patrick either promised him, of course, fame, time, or paid him. I don't know, but I'm going to tolerate the lies. I'm not going to tolerate the lies and slander. So apparently, I pay people money to be on the show, or I promise them fame and fortune. Fame and fortune just to talk about her on my podcast.
I'm telling you, this is all fair.
Can I get a raise from 0?
Yeah, me too. With mine. But the funny thing I find telling.
I've never met before in my life. Apparently, I'm paying him to be on my show, but
this is her. This is her. She's playing the victim. She's not to fall for anything, man. She's not to fall for anything.
She's quite delusional.
She's delusional. I'm telling you, I'm going to reiterate this. I said it earlier, and I'm going to reiterate it again. She has told so many lies in her life and so many stories that she's beginning to believe what she tells is true. In her mind, she believes it's true what she's saying.
Okay, Sharon's ex is actually in the chat, and he says, look at the star after the correction. Go back to the pedo messages. Okay, I'm going to do that.
Who said that?
That's the ex. He wants to go back to the pedo messages. So, sorry, I'm just going to have to load those screenshots back up. So, after the correction, sorry, which screenshot did you want me to look at? Do you know which specific one? I'm gonna find it. He said, look at the star after the correction.
Oh, she corrected herself. In that last screenshot you had of her commenting, she had corrected herself.
In the pedo messages?
Yeah, I think next to the last screenshot you had of her. What she
Okay. Okay.
She said, I'm not going to stand for these lies. He said this, that thing, and the other to me, and blah, blah, I don't know, her ranting.
Well, she's good at that, ranting. Very good at that.
He says he's in the shower.
When he says he's in the shower, okay, I'm putting it right now. Stand by. Stand by, people. Oh.
So, it sounds like Sharon's totally alienating herself. And believe it or not, those kids watch and see what she does. They're not unaware of what they're gonna look back.
Oh, trust me,
Hopefully they're just on emulators.
Trust me, guys. Trust me. She lives. A lot of the stuff that she does right straight in front of her kids, and they see it all.
Yep.
They see it all. And what amazes me, and what amazes me with the oldest one, this goes back to what I said earlier. She is such a good kid, and she's smart. And some of the things that she's been through in her life, she still takes it with a grain of salt, and still, for the most part, is a happy kid.
She has an optimistic outlook. She has hope.
Yes.
Yeah. So
And
she can't. As much as she tries, she cannot snuff that out of that child.
no, but I will tell you this: she's got the
Resents that
oldest
child
one.
because of it.
She has the older one so brainwashed into thinking to her methods that she'll defend her mother on stuff that she shouldn't have to defend her on. And I think a lot of it is because she's scared of her mother.
Yeah, and she
She's
feels
scared.
alone. And she feels alone.
Yeah, like I feel for those girls. I really do. They deserve, like the youngest daughter's father said yesterday, they deserve better.
Yeah.
They deserve better.
Is this the screen that the ex wants me to look at? Where he says he's in the shower. Okay, this is
The one you
he
just
says,
had
sorry,
up.
I was bathing. She says, do you ever happen to read profiles before sending a friend request? Is Wyatt Brown your real name? Because I know I'm Wyatt. Yes, I'm saying his name out loud now. Are you there? I'm 14. Do you still want to talk? Can we be friends? Are you there? He says, sorry, I was bathing.
Go to the next one.
Okay. Yes, this is my real profile. Sure, we can be friends. So you have no problem being friends with a 14-year-old? Well, I tend to be very flirty with girls online. I don't want to upset you.
Now look at the message she posted today.
Did I post it today?
I told you, Nachi says, look at the message she posted today.
On Facebook?
I think the one you had up after this one.
Okay, that was... Yeah, that was this one. Okay. This one, right? I made calls today, and now my ex will be paying a price for what he did, especially making allegations against me that are serious. He went on the show today because Patrick either promised his, of course, fame time, or paid him. I don't know, but I'm not going to tolerate the lies and slander.
Look at the star after the correction.
Look at the star, him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'm not gonna... I said I made calls today, now my ex will be paying a price for what he did, especially making allegations against me that are serious. He went on the show today. Patrick either promised him, of course, fame, time, or paid him. I don't know, but I'm not going to tolerate the lies and slander. But yeah, like she thinks that, like, seriously, if I had money to pay people to be on my show, do you think I'd live in a fucking basement? Live from the Mad Shangi basement, the Mad Shangi Show.
Okay, here's my question. This is the question I want to ask. This was the question. This would be the question I asked her if she was in front of me. Okay, Sharon, who did you call? Who the fuck did you call? That's what I want to know. Who did you fucking call? You say you made a call. Who was the call to? Who did you make the call to?
Right, you apparently went to the cops.
You're always calling. That's the thing. She's always calling somebody. Always calling somebody when there's a problem. She's always calling somebody.
So I can be the victim.
Exactly. Yep. She didn't call nobody. It's all threats. And here's the thing. What can she really? What honestly can she really do to this guy? What? Like, what's she gonna do? I mean, I understand he was talking yesterday. He's worried that she caused some problems, which is true. She could. She's that vindictive enough.
But that's what she does already, so it's just par for the course.
Yeah. Right. She's not. I mean, she can't.
Video evidence of her lying,
Yeah.
and when she makes her false allegations, and when she wants to get the cops involved, and when she's talking to her lawyers, I've got video evidence right here.
Tell you what, eventually, and as you already indicated, Greg, people are gonna get tired of her shit. The cops are gonna get tired of her calling about nothing. The family's gonna get tired of her complaining and doing what she does.
Oh, let me tell you, she's already pretty much burned her bridges when it comes to the family. Because my brother's not talking to her. I'm not talking to her. My dad, she's not talking to my dad. So that really only leaves my stepmom, and I don't think she really talks to her that much either.
But you know what? This whole thing, all of this Mad Shangi show, this whole thing that she started, this Pandora's box she opened, all happened for a reason.
Yes.
It all happened for a reason. It got people
Here's
talking.
what I think. Here's what I think, Rabbit. This is what I think. She did this because she's now reaping what she sows. That's what it is. She's reaping what she sows. It's coming back to bite her in the ass now.
Yeah.
All the years of her building all this crap up, now it's coming back to bite her in the ass. That's what's happening. And now she's scared now. I guarantee you, she is scared as shit right now.
Yeah.
Because she knows what she's actually done now.
Yeah.
She can't escape this now. She can't escape it. She's opened, like you said, she has opened Pandora's box, man.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'll tell you this straight up. I feel no sorrow for her at all. At all. I don't fucking care.
How you really feel, Greg? Really? No, tell us how you really feel.
Yeah, tell us.
I'm telling you. I'm fucking telling you. That's how I feel. Don't get me wrong. There was a time that I did love my sister. I loved her more than anything. I've done so much for her, like everybody else in the family has done for her. You know? And I always tried to not judge her and how she lives her life, and she would never judge how I live my life. But when she came and she went to the low she did by targeting my kid, which I've never done to her. When she targeted my kid, that's where I drew the line.
Yeah.
That's where I don't give a fuck anymore. She can kiss my ass, literally. She can kiss my ass.
Don't fuck
I
with
will
a man's
bend
kid
over.
or his animal.
I will bend over, spread my cheeks apart, take a big old shit, and she can lick my ass. That's what she can do.
Wow.
Alrighty then.
Period.
Well, Greg, man, I am so glad you contacted
Stay spread.
Greg, I'm so glad you came on here on the Mad Shangi Show today and told your story. You've confirmed a lot of things that we predicted. That we were like, oh, I bet you she's this, I bet you she's that. Well, she is this, she is that. She's fucking nuts. This woman is fucking nuts. And I'm glad you exposed this, so maybe some good can come out of this. Maybe there's some men out there that's been hurt by this woman can feel some closure. Maybe they'll see this and finally understand that they're not alone and that she's not going to get away with this shit anymore. The truth has been exposed.
Yep. You're absolutely right, my man. It's been exposed, and she's opened Pandora's box, so I feel no sorry for her at all in any of it. And whatever's coming to her, she deserves to get. She deserves to get it.
I wholeheartedly agree. Aware Rabbit, Red Pool, thank you for joining me in the live stream today. Thank you, Greg. I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you, everybody in the chat, for watching. Another high turnout for the Mad Shangi Show. I wonder why. But I feel like we've accomplished something today.
This is Sharon. She draws a crowd. She draws a crowd.
This is what
She
she
wants drama, and that's what she does. She draws a crowd. Well, she definitely got a crowd on this one. She definitely got a crowd on this one.
Yeah.
So I would just say congratulations, Sharon.
Sharon, I hope you're happy right now.
I doubt that.
I bet you wish you never contacted me. But boy, she thought that we were all going to be simps and just buy her fucking bullshit story, no questions asked. She really thought that. But after just general,
Matt, let me tell you something, man. When I watched that video, the worst part of that whole thing that got me was the whole time that she's telling the story to you, she's laughing. She's laughing. Did you hear there were several times where she giggled?
that's true. Now that you,
And I'm thinking to myself, Sharon, if you were so worried about this is a serious matter. Why would you be even giggling? Makes no sense.
be pretty blasé and casual about this while she's telling her story.
Yeah.
Well, he contacted my daughter, and then I'm like, why is a 33-year-old man contacting my daughter? So I asked him for dick pics. Told him.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, I gotta get off here. I gotta go get some sleep, man. But we're out, man. So I appreciate you having me on the show, man. And again, I want people to understand that have seen this or seen the previous ones or have commented or especially have listened to the younger girl's father yesterday. I have to reiterate again about this guy. He's an upstanding guy. I've never met him face to face. We've talked a few times on the phone, and he is I can tell he's generally a guy, and he's trying to do by this kid, and she's not allowing him to do that. And I hope that the process from here out is going to go his way because those kids deserve better.
It deserves a lot better. Like I said, CPS should be looking into this. This guy should be allowed a DNA test. Now, this brings up another issue, too. This whole having to need a woman's permission to get a DNA test. That needs to change right now.
Right.
I have no clue for that.
Right.
It's all it's the court system. It's this whole shitty family court system that we've been dealing with for years, and we've been calling it out. That's why we're going our own way, and we decided not to be in relationships or to get married or cohabitate because of people like Sharon, and we don't want to fall into that. So,
I believe there was at one point, he was talking about the money that he was sending her and stuff. I do believe there was a point where he had stopped sending money, and we would always hear her complain about that, about him not paying child support. Well, I'm thinking, okay, did you do a paternity test? Did you file something through the courts? See, I was told a while back, this was before I actually got to talk to him and got the real scoop. This is another lie she tells. She told me a long time ago that she filed for child support and he was supposed to be paying child support through the state, which that was a lie. He's never gone to court or been sent papers to pay child support. So I do know that he at some point had stopped sending her money, and she would complain about it. And I'm like, well, you can't complain if you didn't file anything, you know. So I mean, if I was in his shoes, I would do the exact same thing. I'm not going to send you money if it's not going for the kid. And on top of that, you won't give me a damn paternity test. What's wrong with you? Like, what are you hiding? What are you hiding?
I'd sue for that paternity test.
You put a lot on bed right there.
sue for that paternity test, definitely.
Yeah.
Boy, this woman pisses me off. This woman pisses me off, Rabbit.
Yeah, this one pissed me off.
She is very good at that. She's very good at pissing people off.
It's the whole fact that she's using this poor kid.
Well, that's what she does.
I hear so much about my daughter, and then I hear that she's verbally abusive to the same daughter that she's portraying as a victim. She's going on the girl's Facebook account and asking for dick pics. Who else is she talking to? What other men has she been talking to using her daughter's Facebook account?
Mm-hmm.
And there's also the issue of what about boys her daughter's age? What if they're messaging this girl thinking it's the girl, and the mom's on there fucking flirting with them. Like, it seems to me like this isn't just to catch a predator. I think she's catfishing guys using her daughter's Facebook
I
account.
think you're right.
No, I'll tell you what I think that is. I believe she did what she did, trying to put something on somebody to get something, because she lives on a limited budget. She doesn't have anything, and when she gets to that point where she has nothing, she'll go to any means necessary to get what she needs.
She blackmailing that guy. Don't try and blackmail him, extort him,
Yes,
money out of him.
yes.
Well, if you want to support Sharon, she does have a GoFundMe page.
Call the IRS
Hey,
on
hey,
him.
I'm having severe net problems out here. I think it's the whole service. So I'm just gonna head off and quit fighting it. And thanks for having me on as little as I
Yeah,
could.
we're wrapping up and ending the broadcast anyway.
All right, and I'd like to thank this guy for coming on and sharing his experiences.
Yeah.
And
Appreciate it, man.
y'all have a good one. Fucking annoyed with the
All right,
net
take it easy,
situation. All right, later.
All right, and that's it, folks. That's it for sure for the Mad Shangi Show. I'd like to once again thanks Greg for coming on. Thank you, Where Rabbit. And Red Pool knows that I appreciate him being here, and I appreciate everybody in the chat that tuned in. That's a wrap, folks.